This video is for the week 2 assignment for the Train the Trainer course. It's a simple poster for an upcoming fictional course. In this case, it's compositing with Photoshop. And what I wanted to show you is the finished version of the poster. Now, this is typically what I do with my classes. I show students an exemplar of what to expect, and that's something they can work towards. Now, in this case, this is a fairly simple image. We've got some text, we've got some images, and they're all combined here. So I'm going to kind of walk you through some of the basic stuff because this has to be under 2 minutes. So to get started, just file new, and I choose the appropriate dimensions with 1920 by 1080, which is a good size for social media posts on Facebook. I'll hit create and it gives me this blank document. Then I'm going to go file open and I'll choose my images that I want to use to open, and I'll open that up, and then I can drag that into my blank workspace. Now this is much larger than the workspace, so I'm going to go Command T to shrink this down, and I'm going to keep my width and height proportional by clicking on my little link here, and I'm going to choose a size of about 39%, and that'll make it fit pretty much the way I want it to. And it's a simple matter of adding some text over top. So text tool or a T on your keyboard, you can click on that and you can add some text. Now right now I have a font that I pre-selected for this, and if you ever want to change that, you can go to your drop down and change your fonts here. You can change the style, the size, alignment, the color, all that sort of stuff. So if I'm happy with my text, as you can see, I just hit my check mark or hit enter, and I can use my move tool to move it to where I need to. If I need to resize afterwards, I can always go back to it and resize it to an appropriate size. Now, as you saw in the finished version, this had a little more text and some of it was different colors. So if I go back to the example here, you can see I put text over top a darker area. Now if this was black, which it was initially, and I'll just show you for all intents and purposes, it is a little more difficult to read. But if I pick a color from the image itself, then it allows me to provide that contrast that I need to make it more legible. The other items in the finished poster are a little more complicated, and that's kind of the whole point of having the course down the road, and that is using some of the effects for creating a composite. So a composite is a image where you've combined multiple elements and images to create something new. So I'm just going to hide these other things just so you can see. What I have is an image here of an airplane, and I've selected it using my magic wand tool and my quick mask tool, and I just paint in the selection that I want with my brush, and I'm just going to switch my color so I can do that and unpaint all the stuff I don't want. Now I'll just do that, use my marquee tool to mark out some of the rest and delete it. And then when I go back to my quick mask, I have my selection, which I will invert, and then I can take this and move it into my my image that I'm working with, and then of course I can resize it to whatever size that I need, and so on. So I don't want to let the cat out of the bag just yet on how to do the rest of this, but just to show you in a nutshell, there are a number of layers. One is the plane, which has been resized. You can see there's a little bit of white on top, so I've added a clipping mask to kind of hide some of that. I've added a hue and saturation adjustment layer to a copy of the plane, which I blurred to make a shadow, and that's basically it in a nutshell. So if you want more information about how to do this part, which is going to take longer than 2 minutes, I'll be more than happy to create another video for you. Once I'm done with this, of course, I'm going to go File, Save, and I always save my working copy with a name that I'm going to be usable, that's going to be usable rather than untitled. And then the other thing I'm going to do with this, because it's going to go on the web, is I'm going to choose a web-friendly format, PNG, JPEG, your typical go-tos, but the ping file will work just nicely for this. I'll hit save and OK, and I'm done.